Bonjour tout le monde, comment allez-vous? Vous allez bien, oui? J'espère que oui, moi ça va très bien, merci, oui. Donc aujourd'hui je fais la vidéo de la semaine 2, de la deuxième semaine de notre cours de français sur le passé composé. Qu'est-ce que nous allons étudier aujourd'hui? Donc nous allons regarder les verbes ou des verbes, some verbs, des verbes avec des participes passés irréguliers. So some verbs with irregular past participles. So in last week's video we looked at how you use avoir as the auxiliary verb. That's the verb that comes in the first part of a past tense. So j'ai, for example, I have, and then you add past participle. So for an ER verb it would be I accent aigu. So j'ai parlé. In fact, I'll give you some examples. Aujourd'hui j'ai mangé. Ce matin j'ai regardé mes emails. Ce matin j'ai parlé au téléphone avec ma mère. J'ai parlé, j'ai mangé, j'ai regardé. Okay, so there your ER verbs in the past. Then we have RE verbs. So, for example, la semaine dernière, j'ai vendu ma voiture. J'ai vendu ma voiture. So that RE at the end of vendre changes to a U to make it a past participle. J'ai vendu. Okay, and then that leaves us with an IR verb. So verbs that are regular and end in IR. For example, choisir, to choose. You take off the final R and you just leave the I. So j'ai choisi. J'ai fini, etc. So they're regular past participles. So I'm going to show you some verbs here, infinitive verbs. So these are some that we saw this week in class, but also last week. So let's zoom in a little bit. And I'll move the camera around. So, regardez là. Vous voyez quelque chose que vous connaissez? Can you see anything that you recognize there, that you know? Ok, nous allons commencer ici. Let's start up here. So, here's a useful one, especially if you have a vehicle or a car. Conduire, to drive. Moi, j'adore conduire. I love driving. Yes, I do. Conduire. Ok, ici nous avons le verbe prendre. Let's see if this pen's any darker. Donc, P-R-E-N-D-R-E. Prendre. So that means to take. Let me get me in here. Voilà, comme ça. To take. Then here we have the verb comprendre. Comprendre, to understand. Okay, so if I were to say vous comprenez, that's the present tense. Do you understand? So comprendre is the verb that comes from. And if you notice, prendre, to take, is also contained within the verb comprendre. So that gives you a little clue. Basically, when we see this in the past tense, this is going to look very similar to the ending of that. In fact, it'll look the same. So we'll see that in a moment. Faire. Qu'est-ce que ça signifie en anglais? Faire. Like savoir faire or laisser faire. So faire means to do or to make. It's a very useful verb, very common. Par exemple, at the end of last week's video, I think I showed you the past participle for this. So when you want to say, I have done my homework, or I've made a cake, you use the verb faire. Okay, we'll come on to that. So this one here, voir. So that verb there means to see something, okay? Un peu comme regarder, to look at or to watch, but voir, it's a little bit more passive. You can see something without watching it, you know, without looking for it. Ok, ici en haut à droite, nous avons le verbe mettre. Mettre, quite common. To put. like to put something on the table, to put something in your bag. Mettre. Ok, lire. Par exemple, je lis le mot. Lire, en anglais, signifie to read. Très bien. So in, for example, my handouts, when I write in the instructions, lisez le texte. Lisez, that comes from that verb there, lire. Boire, par exemple, je bois du café chaque matin. Chaque matin, je bois du café. Every day, or every morning, sorry, je bois, I drink a coffee, or some coffee, to drink. Dire. Dire. So you should recognize or know this verb from the the question. Comment dit-on? Comment dit-on? Comment dit-on? Comment dit-on en français? Okay, so you see this sometimes written in my exercises that I set you. So, comment dit-on? Dit-on. So that's the present tense. How does one say? How is it said? Comment dit-on? Dit comes from the verb dire, to say. It can also mean to tell, like I told him, or I told her to do something, I told her not to go there, etc. Ok, ici, c'est un verbe assez utile de nos jours. So this is a useful verb, especially when you're talking about technology or machinery. Éteindre. Éteindre. So let me zoom in so you can have a good look at that. Éteindre. Et, so anytime you see that accent, the accent aigu, over an E, remember it's an A sound. Then we've got an E and an I, that's an A sound. Éteindre. Éteindre. Okay, dre, at the end, RE. So lots of these are RE verbs actually. But, as you'll see when I show you their past participles, they're very irregular. So, what happens again with an RE verb when it's regular? Think of the verb vendre. In the past tense. Vendu. Excellent. Or fondu. To melt. That kind of thing. Well, these ones you're going to have to learn, I'm afraid. So, you just need to know these by heart. So that'll take a little bit of time, but let's use today as sort of an introduction or a little reminder, refresher, because you have seen these in class. So let's start with conduire. I want to say I drove. So we're changing conduire into the past tense. So conduire becomes conduit. Bit like a conduit. Conduit. On ne prononce pas le T. You don't pronounce that T. Donc, par exemple, hier, j'ai conduit à la plage. Yesterday, I drove to the beach. J'ai conduit. I drove. Très bien. Ok, deuxième verbe. Prendre. Oh, I just wrote it out in the infinitive. That's no good, is it? Let's try using a nice black pen. Hopefully this is nice and dark. Et voilà. So, we're looking for the past participle of that verb prendre. Pris. So, yes, it does sound like the word for price, but the word for price has an X at the end instead of an S. So it's pronounced exactly the same. J'ai pris, par exemple, j'ai pris le bus. I took the bus. J'ai pris mon portable avec moi. I took my phone with me. That kind of thing. So remember, prendre, the verb to take, the exact same spelling is in the verb to understand. So if that's the past participle for prendre, then the past participle for understand is compris. Vous avez compris? Did you understand? Compris. So, I have understood. Oui, j'ai compris. Oui, j'ai compris. Très bien. Okay. Okay, let's go up to mettre. Mettre. Mettre actually rhymes, or the past participle rhymes with pris. Me. Me. Okay, even though there's an S at the end, you don't pronounce it. So if there was an E at the end, it would become mise, but it's just M-I-S. So, par exemple, j'ai mis les clés sur la table. J'ai mis les clés sur la table. I put, or I have put, my keys on the table. I put my keys on the table. So remember, with the passé composé, when you're using avoir plus a past participle, it translates into two ways in English. I have put, or I put. So that can lead to a little bit of confusion, but you just need to remember that there's just one way of doing that in French. So it doesn't translate into two ways in French. It's just j'ai mis. J'ai mis, je n'ai pas mis. I did not put. Okay, so let's see if we can remember. Conduire, what is it in the past participle, or in the past tense? Conduit. Oui. Prendre, what does that become? Pris. J'ai pris, oui. Comprendre. J'ai compris, oui, compris, très bien. Mettre. J'ai mis. Parfait. Okay, now let's have a look. We're going to go back to faire. F-A-I-R-E, faire. And in the past participle, or as a past participle, how does it look? Faire. Do you remember from last week? Voilà. Fait. So it looks a little bit like the present tense, like when you say il fait beau. It's actually the same word, fait, but used in the past tense. So it's always going to have avoir in front of it if it's in the past tense. Par exemple, hier soir, j'ai fait les devoirs. J'ai fait les devoirs. I did the homework. Or j'ai fait mes devoirs. I did my homework. J'ai fait. Très bien. Okay. Now, voir, boire, and lire. I'm going to put them all together, okay? And the reason for that is because all of these past participles rhyme. Okay, they're very short, just two words. Il n'y a que deux lettres dans chaque mot. Donc, voir, well, you'll know this word from déjà vu. Vu means seen or saw. J'ai vu les oiseaux. J'ai vu les oiseaux. I saw the birds, as in little tweety birds. Or I have seen. Oui, j'ai vu. Oui, yeah, I saw. So, voir becomes vu. Boire becomes bu. Bu. So it's not a boo. It's not an oo sound like in vous. S'il vous plaît. It's an u. Bu. Vu. As opposed to vous. Boo. Vu et bu. Par exemple, j'ai bu un chocolat chaud. Ah oui, c'est vrai en fait. Je n'ai pas fini parce que c'est là. Donc voilà, j'ai bu un peu de chocolat chaud. J'ai bu. I drank. Okay. Vu, bu, and then what's the other one? Lire. To read. So that one rhymes as well. J'ai lu. They look strange when you see them together, don't they? Vu, bu, lu. Donc, how do I say I drank? I drank. J'ai bu. Okay, so remember, you need j'ai in front of it to make it a past tense. Ok, j'ai bu. Comment dit-on I read? I read. Oui, hopefully you said the right one. J'ai lu. And lastly, qu'est-ce que c'est en français? I saw. J'ai vu. Oui, j'ai vu. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you a question. I'll get on to these last few, but I'm going to ask you a question which maybe you can answer. So, in fact, I'm going to ask you two questions. And these questions start off with a phrase that's probably getting annoyingly familiar. Qu'est-ce que? Qu'est-ce que? That's how it's written. Qu'est-ce que? Que est-ce que? Qu'est-ce que? Qu'est-ce que? Qu'est-ce que? Qu'est-ce que? Qu'est-ce que? When you see qu'est-ce que, it tells you, or it's giving you an indication that the bit that follows is a question. And generally that question will translate in English as what plus a verb. So what, for example, if it's in the past tense, it might be something like, I'll put it in the vous form, because I'm addressing several of you. Qu'est-ce que vous avez bu aujourd'hui? Aujourd'hui. I always wonder how you spell aujourd'hui. I always have to sort of go back and check it. Anyway, that should be correct. Qu'est-ce que vous avez bu aujourd'hui? So we did this in class. What did you drink today? So, moi par exemple, j'ai bu une bouteille d'eau et j'ai bu un café le matin et après ça j'ai bu un thé décaféiné et j'ai bu un peu de chocolat chaud. Oui, I have drunk, so I drank various things today. Water, coffee, decaf tea and a hot chocolate. Parce qu'il fait froid dehors. Yeah, I wanted to be cozy, so I'm halfway through actually what is now a cold hot chocolate, if that makes sense. Qu'est-ce que vous avez bu aujourd'hui? Qu'est-ce que vous avez bu aujourd'hui? What have you drunk today? So your answer will start off with j'ai bu. Oui, j'ai bu. Maybe you've drunk a coffee. Maybe you've drunk some milk. J'ai bu. So if you drank some milk, j'ai bu du lait, some milk. Du lait. Maybe you've drunk du café, some coffee. Maybe you've drunk some water, de l'eau. Remember, du, de la, or de plus L apostrophe means some of something. De l'eau. Excellent. Très bien. Ok. Qu'est-ce que vous avez lu aujourd'hui? Qu'est-ce que vous avez lu aujourd'hui? What have you read today? Moi, par exemple, qu'est-ce que j'ai lu? Ah, j'ai lu, comme chaque jour, j'ai lu mes emails. I read my emails. Excusez-moi. Not I saw, I read. J'ai lu mes emails. Oui, c'est tout. That's all I read today. I haven't read any books. I haven't read any news. Ah, j'ai lu quelques SMS. J'ai lu quelques SMS. Some text messages. So let me show you how I was saying that. J'ai lu quelques, that means some, SMS. That's the word for text messages. J'ai lu quelques SMS. Yeah, I haven't read any books for a while apart from my language books, which I, use every day in teaching. Ok, très bien. Qu'est-ce que vous avez lu? Vous avez peut-être lu un journal. Vous avez peut-être lu une lettre. Vous avez probablement lu un email. Ok, très bien. Now let's have a look at these last two. We've got dire, to say. So if I wanted to make that into the past participle, that verb, it would be dit. So I have said, or I told, or I said, or I have told, there's a few different ones. J'ai dit. J'ai dit. J'ai dit non. I said no. J'ai dit oui. I said yes. Okay, now with the verb dire, if you tell someone something, in English you just tell someone. In French you tell to someone. Sounds a bit strange, right? But let me show you what I mean. So if I wanted to say I told Mark, j'ai dit à Marc. J'ai dit à Marc, whatever you said to Mark. J'ai dit à Marc. I said to my mother. J'ai dit à ma mère. Whatever you said to your mother. J'ai dit à ma mère. I said to my mother. So when you translate in your head the verb dire, to say, that makes sense. I said to someone, I say to you. When you translate it as the verb to tell, you don't often translate the verb, you don't often use the preposition to after the verb to tell. So, for example, I told her, I told him, I told my mum, I told my dad, whatever. So I told, normally you don't use to after it, but in French you do. So don't be surprised if you see a little ah like that when it's following the verb dire, whether it's in the present tense or the past or whatever. So you won't always see it, but you often will. So that's what that is. J'ai dit à quelqu'un. I said to someone, or I told to someone. Et dernièrement, that one there, éteindre. Did I actually tell you what this means? It means to turn something off or to switch something off. I've got a feeling I might not have told you that just then, but if you weren't in my class, if you're watching this just on YouTube, then éteindre means to turn off or switch off. Par exemple, éteindre le portable, turn it off, comme ça. Ou éteindre la lumière, éteindre mon ordinateur, etc. To turn off, to switch off, power down, that kind of thing. So, in the past tense, the past participle of this is éteint, éteint, comme ça. Et, non, et. E, accent aigu, T-E-I-N-T. Et ça se prononce éteint. Très bien. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, in fact, I know what I'll do. Je sais ce que je vais faire. Je vais utiliser ça. So let's zoom in a little bit. We're going to make sentences using some of those past participles. So I might not be able to use them all, but I'll use some of the ones. Okay, so here I want to say I have understood. I have understood. So we need the verb comprendre and the passé composé in the past participle. Comprendre becomes compris. Oui, bravo, j'ai compris. From the verb comprendre. Prendre. Okay, next one we're going to say you have done. You have done. So we need the verb faire. What's the past participle of faire? Oui, fait. Tu as fait. Qu'est-ce que tu as fait aujourd'hui? What have you done today? Okay, now we're going to say he or she took. He or she took. From the verb prendre. Okay, remember it's conjugated, or the past participle resembles this. He or she took. Il, elle a pris. Très bien. Okay, now we're going to say we drove. This is quite a useful one because often you do drive with someone else. So it's from the verb conduire. Nous avons conduit. Nous avons conduit. Oh, sorry if that's a little bit far away. I'm trying to zoom in to cut my head off because you don't need me for this. Nous avons conduit. You have, what can we put there? You have taken, or you took. You took, from the verb mettre. Vous avez mis. Bravo. Okay, and then he or they have read. Ils or elles ont lu. Yes, from the verb lire. They drank. Ils, elles ont bu. From the verb boire. Très bien. And then lastly, they have seen. Ils, elles ont vu. From voir. Parfait. So that leaves us with a couple of verbs there that we haven't used. So I now want to say, regardez-moi avant de partir, before leaving. A couple of other examples. So I'm going to write the sentences this time en français, et vous allez les traduire. Okay, I'm going to translate them. So the two verbs I didn't use, ah oui. So let's shake it up a little bit. This is not a complete sentence, it's just the start. Nous avons dit à Marie. Nous avons dit à Marie. Comment dit-on en anglais? We said or we told. So so if you translate this as the verb to say, we have said to Marie. We said to Marie, blah blah blah. Then you would follow the verb with to. Said to Marie. But if you were to translate it as the verb to tell, then it would be we told Marie. We have told. We told Marie whatever we told her. We said to Marie whatever we told her. So just goes to show you that your choice for translation, might have, there's different ways, basically. You've got some creative freedom when you're translating something back to English. In instances like this, when the verb dire can be translated as two verbs. Ok, très bien. Dernièrement, enfin, lastly. Ah oui. Here's a question form. You guys are good at these questions. Okay. Okay, let's have a look if you know what this is saying, what this is asking. Voilà. Avez-vous éteint la lumière? Avez-vous éteint la lumière? Oui, j'ai éteint la lumière. Oui, la lumière. J'ai éteint la lumière. Have you turned off the light? Oui, j'ai éteint la lumière. Yes, I've turned off the light. D'accord. Now, that's quite enough because the video is getting rather long now, so I'll try and finish before 30 seconds. So, well done. There are some irregular past participles, and they're very, very common, so we'll see them again. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to follow up with a link to this video, which I'll send to your emails if you came to my class. There's also some exercises which, if we didn't have time to do in class, please look through them. You don't have to go through the conversation on page 4 because we'll look at that together next week. But feel free to look if you like. That's not going to be a problem. So Voilà. Past participles that are irregular but very common. Useful to look at. Don't worry if you can't memorize them all. Donc, merci. Bon week-end. Oh, il y a quelqu'un. Someone's getting in contact with me. Merci, bon week-end et à la semaine prochaine. Au revoir.